In this powerful clip from Theo Vaughn's podcast, he's talking to somebody who's a UFC fighter who's dealt with some deep personal abuse. We're going to use this as a way to look at abuse and how you can work with it.
Fuck, man. I used to always sleep in my mom's room because I thought my dad was going to kill my mom. So, like, I would, like, sleep by the door. I'd sleep
to make sure she was all right.
So we've already learned a couple things. This fighter, Sean, clearly has done some talking about his trauma. That means he's already on a process of healing. It's also clear that it is not something that he's talked about a ton, or he hasn't fully completed it. You can see from his body language, he starts kind of covering his head. He's like, there's a kind of a protection aspect of it. His body language is open enough. He's not completely closed down or anything like that, but you can tell that he's dealt with some of this trauma before. Probably it started with not talking about it, then it was joking about it, and now he's actually starting to do some of the real processing about it. If for any of you out there who have dealt with a lot of abuse, finding a safe place to talk about it where you can be listened to and attuned to while you're talking about it is a really critical first step. Everything comes after that. And so clearly he's done some of that. So let's see what happens now.
My dad's like, fuck that. He's not sleeping in here tonight. He's not, like, kick him out. And so I, like, army crawl under the bed, and I'm sleeping under the bed, right?
Under the bed?
I'm like laying on the bed, like just laying underneath the bed, like as they're fighting. Cause I think my dad's gonna kill my mom.
Wow. He was that violent?
Yeah, he's just a coward, you know? So anyways, like.
There's one of two things that happens to somebody who has this much like violence or abuse put on them. One mechanism is that you are like, you can't hurt me, right? Like, you don't have power over me. There's nothing you can do. If you're going to hit me, it didn't affect me. You can hit me harder. You become basically this ability to endure whatever gets thrown at you, right? And so that's the path he's taken. And you can tell just by, I mean, outside of his body type and that he's a fighter and all those other clues, you can tell just by that thing he said, was your dad violent? And he didn't say, yeah, my dad was violent. He said,
yeah, he's just a coward, you know?
Right. So he's dealt with his trauma in a way that is just like, you can't even fucking touch me. It's a complete self-reliance. I cannot depend on people. I will depend on myself. And no matter what you do, you can't hurt me, which has a lot of benefits, but a lot of drawbacks over a time in life. And so we have an episode on self-reliance, and you can take a look at that, but it's just, that's what's happening there. The other option is that you actually start becoming a victim, right? Where you recreate the victimhood over and over and over again. You keep on finding relationships that are abusive. You keep on finding places where you're going to get physically abused or you're going to get sexually abused or whatever the abuse was. And so those are the two ways. And there can be some blending, right? Like, this person might always have a relationship with a woman who yells at him or something like that. So they, who knows, but it's usually predominantly one or the other. And you can tell which one he is right away.
So picture like me, like 3rd, 4th grade, laying under a bed, fleas jumping all over me. There's a fucking like dildo next to me.
Yeah, it sounds like a Japanese game
like
show.
Like, who puts a dildo underneath the bed, bro? It's not sanitary. Put it in your fucking drawer.
Yeah, at least put it in a drawer that has a bunch of gum and coins in it.
Yeah. Under the bed with the fleas.
Yeah, dude.
So
Damn,
anyways,
that's scary, dude.
So anyways, my dad gets on top of my mom.
So hold on a second. So there's this weird thing that's happening, which is like, they're both uncomfortable in this situation, but they're also wanting to talk about it. And you can actually see the conflict that, like, we were on a podcast episode. Are we going to go here? Is it okay to go here? There's this like back and forth, and you can see they're both getting uncomfortable. They're starting to look away from each other, look at each other, like, which is a really interesting thing. And I think that's important to say, because when somebody is going to share trauma with you, if you're on the receiving end of it, they're looking to see if there's some safety, what's going on, like how well can you hold this? And safety doesn't mean, are you going to be able to say to them, oh, it's okay. You're okay. Everything's going to be okay. That's not actual safety. It's like, are you going to be able to be with me in this experience? Are you going to try to make it better, run away, be too uncomfortable? Or are we going to actually be able to go there? That's one of the things that's happening, and happens every time that somebody's sharing an abusive or traumatic experience. It's like, oh, especially if it's on their edge. If they process it 1,000 times, they'll just say it offhandedly, like, yeah, this is what happened in my childhood.
I remember he said, like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to fucking kill you tonight. Maybe it was just rough sex. We don't know at this moment, right?
And you were under the bed?
I'm under the bed. So he starts strangling her, and I get out, and the only thing I can see is a guitar. I just fucking crack him in the head, call the cops. And then he gives I run down the street, calls the cop, gets arrested. My dumbass mom bailed him out of jail.
One other clue that's just happened. He's like,
my dumbass mom bailed him out of jail.
Now he's like very much illustrating, I had nobody to depend on here. I couldn't depend on my mom, even when I was trying to save her. Couldn't depend on my dad. He was fucking crazy. So all I could do was learn how to depend on myself. And I will endure whatever needs to be endured to be able to make my life what I need my life to be. Because I'm not going to get anybody else. Usually what that means is that a person is not good at expressing their wants, is not good at expressing their needs, has a hard time asking for any kind of help. And they often like caretake other people. They're like, they'll be a savior or they'll caretake other people, or at least they think they are, because they realize that was their job. His job was to take care of his mom. So he probably goes through life when he can, taking care of other people. And so all of those things are learned through that like deep amount of self-reliance.
My dad would get home drunk, start drinking at like 6, and like just be up until like 3 a.m, just like tell my mom, tell my mom she's a whore, he's gonna kill her. Like, and I remember I used to like,
what a loser, huh?
Oh, piece
sorry
of
to
shit.
say that about your dad.
No,
but
he
that's
died.
fucking lame.
Piece of shit, dude. He died of cancer. But anyways,
there's this moment in him where he's just like, yeah, fuck my dad. It's okay. Like, of course you can call him an asshole, like this whole thing. But he's speed bumping the emotion. You can just watch him. When I mean speed bumping, it means like there's an emotion there that he's not allowing himself to feel. So he's going right over, which is like that longing for your dad's love, that longing for connection with your dad. You can't get rid of that longing. It's always going to be there, no matter how much of an asshole your father is. There's something inherent in us that wants a relationship with our dad or our parent. And if you can't feel that entirely, you're never going to be completely over the traumatic experience, meaning you're never going to have fully processed it until you can feel the hurt and the pain of the experience. Then you're still going to be controlled by it. And what you're seeing with him, which is amazing, and it shows you the self-endurance and that endure quality, is that I can be self-reliant, I am an endurer, but I actually can't express hurt. I can't feel the hurt. Because if you ever expressed hurt with the dad, you would only get more abused. And so that expression isn't there. And so it becomes very unsafe in your own body to feel the hurt. And that's the exact thing you have to do to get through the trauma.
We had this little nook, and she would like go in the nook, and I would just sit there like all night long by like the feet of my mom, and my dad like, oh, I'm going to fucking kill you and this and that.
So that's a lot of responsibility then you feel, probably just to like take care of your mom.
Oh yeah. No, he'd always tell her that like, if you cheat on me, and she probably was cheating on him, if you cheat on me, I'm going to like cut you up and put you in a bottle of acid and bury you. I don't go to school. I'm up till 3 a.m. And I couldn't stay awake in school. Like, so like, I remember I was like in second grade. And I kept falling asleep at my desk, and my teacher took my desk away from me, and she made me like stand up. And so I'm like, fuck you, being a little kid, I just went and fell asleep on the ground.
This is an amazing thing. So like he's talking about the massive abuse that's going on in the school, and he quickly starts talking about how he basically wasn't seen, right? No teacher came up to him and said, hey, what's going on? What makes you tired in class? They just assume he's been bad. And what's interesting is even in somebody processing trauma, that's second to the trauma. Like, think about that. Think about the fact that this is what he's telling us. He's not telling us about another event of like massive abuse, which happened on a daily basis. He's talking about school. When you're working with kids and you're seeing kids like that, the ones that often make it the best is if they just have somebody to say, I see where you're at, like, how can I help you? When I'm working with people through their traumas, one of the things that I notice all the time is that, one, if they were seen, something changes, but the not being seen in it causes just as much pain. And so usually when someone's processing trauma, the first thing is to talk about it. The second thing is to like deeply feel all the hurt and the pain. Then there's all the ancillary hurt and pains, like the mom that didn't save you or the teachers that didn't come to you. All of that actually has to be processed for you to not be living a life as if that trauma is still occurring all the time.
Dude, I remember like laying in bed. Like I remember I stopped believing in God, man. Like fucking, like I had fucking, yeah, it's crazy shit, dude. Crazy shit, man.
Yeah. It's okay, man. It's a lot of that sad, dude. I used to be scared at night. Like, I used to stand up. Like, I heard when I was a kid that, like, if you peed around your, like, animals could pee somewhere that other animals wouldn't come. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Huh?
Yeah, man. I got it.
Have you ever heard that?
What Theo's doing here is very natural, which is, hey, let me tell you something embarrassing and vulnerable about me so that you can feel safe and comfortable. Telling somebody, particularly somebody who's deeply enduring, that I can make you safe and comfortable is never going to work. They're never going to trust that, especially if they're in their trauma. And you can just see his reaction. He's just like, he's like starting to look away. He's backing off. And Theo's trying to like reconnect with him. Like, hey, I'm right here with you, which is all natural. But what the person in the trauma wants at that moment is a thing that they never got, which was just unconditional love. And so the best thing you can do in that moment is just to be with them, just to be in, like, silently be there and just be like, I got you. Like, I'm right here. In your attitude, you might not even say anything. If that's not happening, if you're trying to make them feel better, what you're doing is you're kind of making them feel weak, which is absolutely the thing that they can never allow themselves to feel.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bud.
So, man.
I'm sorry, buddy.
That's all good, dude.
I'm sorry, buddy. He's trying to say, hey, look, I'm here with you. But the thing, like, I'm sorry is, again, like the shot in like its weakness instead of like, this is strength. What you're doing right now is strong. He would respond much better to, dude, I am super proud of you for being so strong and feeling this shit. I am right here. You fucking are rocking it. Even though we all, of course, are sorry. Like, no, none of us wants this to happen to anybody. All he really needs is just a safe place to break down and to be seen and not to be made small in it.
We don't have to talk, man. I can just sit here with you for a minute.
That was beautiful from Theo,
fuck,
but he
so
didn't need
sick.
to say it.
I can just sit here. We can just sit
Nah,
here.
it's all good, dude. 6 seconds, just process it. It's one of the hard things that people don't understand, but like trauma, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes it just comes out.
Oh, no, dude.
You notice the body language is more protective now. His head is turned to the side. His leg is up.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to scratch my gum and I have a hole in my gum. You know,
Just from being nervous and stuff?
nah, just anxiety, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, even to this day. Yeah. I mean, the day, dude, like, I'm a grown-ass man. I don't give a fuck. I mean, you could post this. I don't care.
Oh, dude, I don't have any.
No, it's all good, dude. I mean, it's what it is, dude.
So this is amazing. He can talk about being under bed with fleas and a dildo and whacking his father with a guitar. He can talk about like holding on to his mom. None of that has gotten him emotional. So he's like clearly processed that. The thing that breaks him down and makes him like really hurt is to feel the anxiety he used to feel. Like that's what cracked him. So think about that where he is right now is that the pain of this experience is to feel the anxiety that was in him. That's the thing. It's like, yeah. And you can see it in his hands movement. Everything he's doing is starting to is to show that anxiety. And it's the anxiety that's actually being processed right now. The anxiety that he had. The interesting thing is what he's not talking about is the violence that was put onto him. And what was clear is that the violence was put onto him at some point. And he's not talking about that. So either he's completely processed that or it's still something that he needs to process.
When I talk about like, oh, I'd kill a man, it's like, you don't understand, dude. Like, when you go through that level of trauma, like you just view the world differently, you know? So it's like, I have a hole in my gum because I'd have so much anxiety as a kid and I would just scratch my gum until just blood.
It just makes me sad that a kid has to feel that way, you know?
Yeah. So like
Any kid.
as a comedian, you got to joke about trauma. Like people think like I joke about all this shit. Like, you know, as we're laughing, like, you got to joke about it. If you don't, like, how do you process that? You know, how do you process that kind of abuse? I mean, I'll never forget my brother, we were like upstairs once and he taped knives to his fucking leg. I mean, we're talking elementary school. He was going to go sit on the couch with my dad and stab him, dude. Like, you know, it's like.
So there it is again. It's like he's feeling the anxiety again. He's feeling like what had to be in his brother to want to stab the father, and the anxiety of like, oh, my brother's going to go to jail. My brother's going to stab my dad. And like all the anxiety that brings up with him, that again starts really hitting his process heavily. And I just have to say, like, wow, so courageous, so brave, so freaking awesome. Something in him knows this is his path to freedom, and he's like going to process it, and he's relentless in it. Right? Theo gives him lots of ways out, and he doesn't take any of them. He just keeps on coming back to another story, which is just awesome. Like, so much strength.
Makes you kind of want to kill him, man. But yeah, you fucking. I mean, we've all gone through shit. Man. But yeah, man, life's good. I make a lot of money now. I'm happy, but you know.
Did you think like, because
Theo's feeling it, which is beautiful. He's trying to like go back and do a story that relates, maybe because he's a podcaster, maybe to help him feel comfortable. But he's given us every signal. Sean's given us every signal right now that there's another level that he wants to process through. And it has to do with the brother with the knife wanting to kill the dad. And like, he keeps on saying, well, we all have our shit. And he even deflected himself for the first time, where he's like, I'm making a lot of money, but you can tell there's something happening because his hand is still going, and there's some way in which he's trying to say there's some other thing here that really fucking sucks to live with.
I remember hearing that like animals, if an animal peed somewhere, another animal wouldn't come. So I would stand up on my bed at night and I would pee around my bed in a circle because I was afraid that things were going to get me.
No shit. Who were you afraid? Like any particular? Just
everything. I mean, I was just afraid of everything. Fuck, I wish I could have been even able to defend myself in my neighborhood or anything. Like, I didn't have anybody to look out. I just didn't. So I think, you see guys
up, man.
like you guys, it's like at least, even though you're fighting each other, it's still like.
Well, you got to learn it. You got to want to be violent. If it wasn't fighting, bro, I'd be in jail. Like, it's not like to have like, you don't understand. Like, I truly have a deep down urge to kill somebody. Like, I can't, it doesn't go away. Like, I just like, I don't know what it is, man. Like
there it is. That's the thing that he was trying to process before.
You just think like, yeah, it's fucked up, dude. So like when I train, it gives me tools to process it. But like, there's definitely something inside me that like tells me that like the moment I take someone's life, and now mind you, we could probably agree that it's because you have so much trauma and you're victimized that like, that's your way of like protecting you and saying that if you go and kill somebody, like you'll be happy. And I would if you could let me kill a man, like happy as I can't, but
right. Some places,
right? But you're
pull up in Memphis.
But, yeah.
You can do what you want.
But see, I don't know. Like a lot of times I don't know what it's like to talk to normal people.
Yeah.
I have some people who know exactly what it's like, who've been molested, who've been abused, and it's like, I have some people who know, been beat up. These people know what it's like, but to go talk to the average person, like, man, you just don't know. It's like some people do, but you don't know what it's like to be able to like, the only thing like that would make me happy is the fucking literally cave in your fucking skull. And like, the only thing that I truly want is the fucking like
make somebody hurt,
fucking hurt. Yes.
He's describing something that's like the traumatic cycle, right? I was abused and I either become the victim or I become the abuser. And he's describing exactly what happens. If the trauma is not dealt with, then you have this thing in you that you're just like, I want to hurt somebody because I was hurt. But in a human's mind, if you want to go and kill somebody, then you must be bad, right? That's then the thing is, oh, I'm bad. So not only are you contending with this horrific feeling like that you want to hurt somebody, because that doesn't feel good in anybody's system. So which it is a response to the trauma. It's a thing that he's just like, I don't want to feel that. But you're also then having a very good reason to tell yourself that you're a bad person, that there's something wrong with you. There's something broken with you. And then that story perpetuates the whole thing. It makes the whole thing harder to process. And like, you're bad for feeling angry. You're bad for wanting revenge. You're bad for wanting to cave somebody's skull in. You're bad for being weak. You're bad for everything is just another way in which you're bad. which agrees with why you got the abuse in the first place, because there was something wrong with you. And the only way through that is to actually allow all of those feelings to be felt so that you no longer have that like, oh, I want to kill somebody. And thank goodness that this particular young gentleman had something like the UFC to channel all that aggression.
It makes me volatile. So I don't really, even to this day, like I don't go out much.
You can't trust yourself, probably.
I can't trust myself.
Yeah, and there it is, right at the end. I can't trust myself. You can't feel like you can trust yourself if you think you're bad.